One Man Films.
My position at WVLT is, I guess you call it senior anchor and reporter. Everybody that's a news anchor here always a slash reporter as well, because we do more than just sit behind a desk and read scripts. We're sent out to do stories and packages, as we're called. And so it's a multitude of things that we do besides being that stereotypical person that just runs in at 3 minutes before the newscast and sits down and reads off a teleprompter.
I'm primarily the Creative Services Director for WVLT TV. What that means kind of encompasses a lot of things. I primarily do commercials for WVLT clients only. But I also work on certain specials with Chef Walter and volunteer sports specials and some news specials as well.
I'm the sports director here at Volunteer TV Sports Overtime, and I have been since, well gosh, I've worked here now over 2 decades. I got here to Knoxville in August of 1987, so it's been quite a run, and I've seen many different changes to this facility that I currently work in.
I'm a director of master control, which is basically a supervisor of our master control department, which takes care of all of the commercials and TV shows you see at home. We are the last bit of, let me rephrase that, we are the last place in the TV station that all the information comes to before it goes out on the air.
I got started at WVLT. It formerly was WKXT. Before that, it was WTVK, Channel 26. Well, my history was I came to WKXT. I was the sportscaster, sports director at WIVK. I was also doing a country dance show at the Tennessee Network, Nashville Network's what it was called. It's now changed to something else, but the Nashville Network, I was doing that. I got a call from a guy that's starting a new show up, an entertainment show at noon, wanting to see if I'd like to come in and see if I'd like to do that.
I got involved in television, but I went to a college that is no longer around, kind of went under. People stole money. It's a long, hard story I won't go into right now. But I went to a broadcasting college here in town and then started interning with local production companies around here. It's how I got my taste for, first feel for what I wanted to do. And then I worked for 5 years in the public access world for Community Television of Knoxville. I'd go around and I'd shoot different things for different organizations and come back and edit them, direct, not directing like we know it in television today, but basically punching local government shows and things like that.
I started in 1971 as a young lad, almost 16. I thought I wanted to be a radio disc jockey. Applied for a part-time job at Channel 10 and got hired. Started out part-time, went to full-time real fast because I was a fast learner.
I kind of knew at an early age, which was a blessing for me, as to what I wanted to do. I've always been a sports fan, and I grew up loving those NFL films videos, the films that they would show each weekend, the highlights of the games. And I wanted to be the guy that actually videotaped those football games. And I thought it would be neat, so I went in that direction. And in college, I started inquiring about getting into the broadcasting industry and into journalism. And I really wanted to get into the behind-the-scenes aspects of it, into the production, into the video work, if you will. But the more I got involved, the more I started trying my hand at different areas of the business, and the rest is history.
I didn't anticipate doing anything like this, really. I thought about going into law enforcement or being a lawyer or something like that. Some people told me I should have been a comedian, but I'm not really that funny. But no, I never did picture myself going into the TV business. But now that I'm in the business, I don't know how to do anything else. So if I were to get fired tomorrow, it'd be kind of tough, because I've been doing this for going on 18 years now, and I would have a tough time learning another trade, because I love this. I love doing this.
Started out camera at WBR Channel 10, and I went to Master Control at Channel 10, and I became a director at 18. Was a director for a while. I quit to become a full-time musician after doing that for 5 years. Came back and was a producer, director, and a photographer, a film. Well, I used to shoot film at local wrestling matches before there was videotapes. We shot everything on a 16mm film, so I've done that. I went back after that. I became a director again. I went to the creative service department of WBR, which is basically editing and producing commercials and promotional things. And I had a chance to leave and come to Channel 8 as a supervisor in '99, and came over to Channel 8 and pretty much was a supervisor of production and Master Control department. Over the years, it's just come down to Master Control. But basically, I can direct, I can edit, I can run audio.
It wasn't my lifelong dream to be a newscaster. I'm very in tune to watching people on television, watching their mannerisms. I can imitate a lot of people in terms of how they do things well. And so, you know, in life, if you're going to succeed in life, a lot of times you take little bits of other people and, you know, to become who you are. If you want to be a great football player, you take little bits of those great people that you see out there that are playing to see, you know, and try to emulate them. Well, I watched a lot of people on television and I liked what they did, but basically I'm a pretty shy guy, and to be put in front of a television camera would scare me to death years ago. When I was in school and I was asked to speak in front of a class, I was petrified. So to be put in a position to be a news anchor is quite unique, and it's kind of the antithesis of what I thought I wanted to be. At that time, years ago, I wanted to be a pro football player. And I got that opportunity for a while, but that went away. So what am I going to do? And I was given the opportunity in television with WBIR in 1979. I was literally off the street and became the weekend sportscaster. So I had to learn from literally the ground up.